I'm loving this studio. It's got so much atmosphere in here. It's fabulous.
Is this a place that has been part of your life in the past? Have you been here before?
I don't see that it's not been part of everybody's life in the past. You know, everyone's got a copy of a Beatles record or whatever that was recorded, and that iconic photograph that was taken outside. You can't help but want to walk across that zebra crossing
with no shoes on.
With no shoes on. Not today.
No. Is it just wondering, like, having led the life you've led, and you know, you've done it all. You must have snorted saffron off some supermodel's cleavage and played Elvis's own Fender bass guitar. You know, is anything that exciting to you? You've just done it all already.
It's saffron off someone's cleavage.
Yeah, that's what they're all doing now.
Is it?
Yeah.
See, I lead a sheltered life. See, I live in Bath. They don't do that in Bath.
You'd be surprised.
Oh, I'm sure.
You're just hanging out in the wrong places.
The Romans did better stuff, actually.
Yeah. Is that why you moved there?
Anything I have? No, not really. Not that kind of stuff. I've had my moments, you know, with that kind of excess. But these days, I think stability and being able to think clearly is high on the agenda, and that's quite nice. You know, waking up in the morning and knowing what you're going to do.
Have you found yourself enjoying any middle-age retreats? Are you gardening?
No, I've not. No, I don't like getting my fingers dirty. How rubbish is that? I'm a sad Glaswegian who doesn't like getting his fingers dirty. No middle-age retreats. I think the only thing is I do a bit of cooking, and that's just
you're on the MasterChef.
That's as un-rock and roll as you can get, I suppose.
Yeah.
But it gives the girls the impression that you're in touch with your feminine side, and that's not a bad thing.
How was the MasterChef? Did you learn much doing that? Was it a good experience?
It was a horrible experience. I liked it at the beginning, and then I started, dare I say it, I started to get having nightmares about, you know, what recipe to do next, because as you progress along the whole process, as you get through the next round, they instantly say, so what are you cooking for us on Tuesday? Because we need to get the bits and pieces. You think, I've done all my signature dishes. There's nothing left. So I find it too competitive towards the end.
If I was coming around your house tonight, what would you cook for me? I'm a veggie.
Well, we've got loads of saffron, funnily enough.
What's your signature veggie dish?
Signature veggie dish. I would do you probably a Thai curry, but with lots of big chunky mushrooms in it, rather than any kind of meat.
I'm going to ask you about the two things, just to get them out of the way, that you must always get asked about. The first one is Band-Aid, of course, which you're amazingly instrumental in, but it always seems to me that you were less interested in being the showy side of it. Is that a fair?
I never got a chance to be in the showy side of it.
Because I sometimes think I heard two stories. The first one was that when you announced Live Aid to the world, it was this press conference, and then you and Geldof were sat there. You're supposed to be running one at a time through all the acts playing, and Geldof, whether it was nerves or just the showman in him, rattled through them all, and then he was on every telly, on every news programme around the world that night, and you were just quietly sitting in the background.
Well, it's partially true. I mean, I just naturally assumed that we'd be both announcing it, as we had both done the record and both put the whole thing together. And I found myself standing out with everyone else in the middle of a football pitch while Bob was announcing to the world the whole thing about Live Aid. So I didn't really get an opportunity to stick my face in front of the camera. I'm joking. Bob is, if you've met him, he's exactly what you get on the tin. He does exactly what it says, and he's loud, and he's gregarious and all of that stuff, but he's also incredibly knowledgeable and very eloquent, and he's the right guy to do all that stuff.
But as a result of that, you're not getting the invite to Nelson Mandela's birthday party.
I'm not getting an invite. And dare I say, I was one of the guys that helped him get out of prison. I was one of the guys, I was in charge of the band at his 70th birthday party, and when he was still locked up. So come on, Nelson, where is it? Don't say it's lost in the post.
I also heard that when Bob turned up at your house with the lyrics to Do They Know It's Christmas, they were terrible, and you just had to go through it with a red pen and rewrite them. Well,
I tried to rewrite them, but I couldn't think of anything that was any better than anything he had written. You know, my major part was that.
The riff.
The riff. That was which he called Z cars, and that was my main contribution. And changing, and there won't be snow in Ethiopia this Christmas. Which it doesn't matter, you know, how long your legs might be. It doesn't scan. It doesn't. So there we go.
Wow. The clanging chimes of doom, were they anything to do with
the clanging chimes of doom were already there,
right?
You know, and the bitter sting of tears, which Sting had to sing, which I thought was great.
So that boxed off. Let's talk about Vienna.
Yeah.
Do you still like it? Has it become a millstone at all? Have you gone through different phases with it?
I think things can only become a millstone if you let them become a millstone. You know, it was a nice song. It was a great song, and it elevated Ultravox from a kind of club band into like a semi quasi stadium band, all in the strength of one piece of music. I think when this re-release came out, I think we were all kind of poked with big sticks from the record company saying, listen to it, check it out, make sure it sounds okay. And when I finally did check it out, I was pleasantly surprised. I think we all were. That
so if you're
actually
in a taxi
sounded
and it
good.
comes on the radio, do you ask the driver to turn it down?
No, you're kidding.
Yeah?
No, not at all.
So you're at a point where you're not hearing what was going on in the room.
You probably hear it more often than I do.
Yeah,
I don't listen to modern records. I don't know any artist who goes home and says, "Well, I think I'll just dig out that 1984 classic."
Mick Hucknall.
Does he?
I don't know. I imagine so. You'd guess so, wouldn't you?
Freezing breath on a window pane, lying and waiting. A man in the dark in a picture frame, so mystic and soulful. A voice reaching out in the piercing cry, it stays with you until the feeling is gone. Only you and I, it means nothing to me. This means nothing to me. Haunting notes, pizzicato strings, a rhythm is calling. Alone in the night as the daylight brings a cool empty silence. The warmth of your hand in a cold grey sky, it fades to the distance. The image is gone, only you and I, it means nothing to me. This means nothing to me. It means nothing to me.